In the summer of 2013, the name Edward Snowden suddenly appeared in news headlines all over the world. Snowden, a former computer specialist and contractor for the U.S. National Security Agency, NSA, gave thousands of top-secret documents to journalists. These documents showed that the U.S. government had been spying on millions of people, not just outside the country, but also on American citizens. The information shocked the public and caused one of the biggest intelligence scandals in U.S. history. While the NSA was directly involved in the program Snowden revealed, the FBI also played a very important role in the story. It was the FBI that launched the criminal investigation and tried to capture Snowden after he escaped. What did Snowden reveal? The documents released by Snowden showed that the NSA had created very advanced programs to collect data. These programs, such as PRISM, X-Keyscore, and Tempora, allowed the government to read emails, listen to phone calls, and track people's internet activity. Most of this was done without court approval. The U.S. government said it was necessary to protect the country from terrorism, but many people were angry. They felt that their privacy had been violated. Snowden said he leaked the documents because he believed the public had a right to know. He said the government had gone too far. But U.S. officials saw it differently. They said he had broken the law and put national security in danger. The FBI immediately opened an investigation, but Snowden was already gone. Escape to Russia. After giving the documents to reporters in Hong Kong, Snowden planned to travel to Latin America, but things didn't go as planned. His U.S. passport was canceled, and he became stuck in the transit zone of Moscow's Sheremetyevo airport. Eventually, Russia gave him temporary asylum. Later, he received permanent residency and even Russian citizenship. For the FBI, this was a disaster. They wanted to arrest him and bring him back to the U.S. to face trial. But now, he was living in a country that had a tense relationship with the U.S. The FBI worked with other agencies and tried to use diplomatic channels to get Snowden back, but the Russian government refused. The Bureau had no legal tools to force his return. Snowden became a symbol, a hero to some and a traitor to others. Did he act alone? One of the FBI's biggest questions was whether Snowden acted alone. Some experts believed he might have had help from other people or even foreign governments. Was he a lone whistleblower or part of a larger spy network? The FBI looked closely at everyone he contacted, including journalists, activists, and former colleagues. There were also concerns that foreign intelligence services, like those in China or Russia, might have used Snowden to get access to secret U.S. information. Even though Snowden always said he acted on his own, some in the U.S. intelligence community were not convinced. The FBI explored all possibilities, using both cyber investigations and old-fashioned detective work. But they found no clear evidence of a spy ring, at least not publicly. Inside the FBI, the Snowden case had a strong impact inside the FBI. Agents were told to be more careful when sharing information. They were trained to look for signs of insider threats, people who might leak secrets. Security systems were upgraded. More background checks and lie detector tests were introduced. The FBI also worked with other agencies to review how contractors like Snowden could get access to so much classified data. At the same time, the case forced the government to face tough questions. Should the U.S. have such wide powers to collect data? Could these powers be used in the wrong way? Because of public pressure, Congress passed the USA Freedom Act in 2015. This law ended the mass collection of phone records by the NSA. It was one of the first major changes to U.S. surveillance laws in years. Snowden's life in Russia. While Snowden continued to live in Russia, U.S. officials worried. Did he still have secret documents? Did Russian intelligence take them? Snowden said he didn't bring any files with him, but some people didn't believe him. They thought he might have shared information, even if he didn't mean to. FBI and CIA analysts told lawmakers that some of the leaked documents were later used in cyber attacks against the U.S. Was this just a coincidence or a direct result of the leak? No one could say for sure. A new reality. Now, more than 10 years later, Snowden is still a controversial figure. He often speaks out about privacy and government power. He says he did the right thing, but the FBI still sees him as someone who broke the law. They continue to keep the case open. Snowden faces charges under the Espionage Act and could face many years in prison if he ever returns to the U.S. The Snowden case changed how Americans think about privacy and surveillance. It also changed how the FBI and other agencies work. The Bureau became more careful and more secretive, but it also had to rebuild public trust. Was Snowden a hero, a criminal, or something in between? That debate continues. But one thing is clear. One man changed the way the world sees intelligence, freedom, and the digital world we all live in.